Today I'm going to teach you how to buy your first supercar or exotic car and get rich while doing it, all while not being a millionaire to begin with. I currently have a $31 million car collection, which honestly is still growing at this point. But currently we've got some major cars in there I'm extremely proud of: the F40, the Ferrari F50, La Ferrari, Aventador SVJ Roadster, and many, many more. Collecting cars has been a true passion of mine throughout all these years, and today I'm going to teach you guys how I did do it, what I've learned, and how I do it today. Buying your first exotic car or supercar can actually end up paying true dividends. Let's face it, that puts you into a group of people that are at a very different caliber of life. A lot of these people are business owners, entrepreneurs, investors, things like that, and you're now in that group. So buying that supercar can actually get you into greater business opportunities, investment opportunities. I personally bought my first car back in 2008. It was a 2005 Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster, which we have subsequently bought back and we have in the collection today. But I bought that car out of just pure passion. It was a car that I really want. It was a dream car of mine. As you guys know, if you watch the channel, I grew up with the Countach poster on my wall, and the red Murcielago was kind of the car of the time when I could finally mostly afford one of these cars. Most of these people did one of the worst things you can do, which is emotional buying. And listen, I get it. We've all been there. We all look at cars online, and a lot of us end up going to the dealership. We're there just to look, by the way. And the dealership knows you when they see you. They're looking for the guy on the lot that is dreaming of these cars. And there it is. There's your dream spec car. Now, let's just say you're doing pretty good in life. Let's say you're making $150,000 a year. That is just enough for you to absolutely get into trouble, and the dealership's absolutely going to make this sale happen. If you're making 150 grand a year, they will get you financed for a $300,000 car. Is it a good idea? Absolutely not. Let's get into the numbers. $150,000 a year is a very good income. If you're there today, congratulations. I applaud you. Keep up the great work. You're clearly doing a lot of things right. I'm going to go ahead and use a Huracan as a really good example of a car. Now, mind you, I'm a huge fan of the Huracan. I've owned several of them. We have the 60th anniversary STO in our collection right now. I'm a big fan of the car. It's not quite as expensive as an SF90 or a 296, but it carries a lot more clout than, say, a 911 Carrera S, for example. It's a $300,000 car, probably right around $330,000 brand new car. You're going to put 10% down. You finance the rest over 60 months, 5 years. Sounds reasonable, pretty traditional, and you think, hey, I've worked hard, I deserve this. Stop and do the math. $150,000 a year after tax, your take-home pay is right around $8,500 a month. Your car note is going to be about $5,000 per month on the loan for that brand new Huracan. That's almost 60% of your entire monthly take-home pay being blown on your car note for that brand new Huracan. You got to consider the cost of insurance on that car, and absolutely it's going to need maintenance. A car that just got delivered back here at our warehouse about 30 minutes ago is my Aventador SVJ Roadster. They're now recommending a full spark plug and fluid change every 2 years, regardless of miles. And the dealership want to charge me $11,000 every 2 years. This is a great example of you're doing very well in life. The dealership will get you financed. You get to take the dream home, and you are absolutely going to decimate yourself financially with that one car. Where do you need to be financially to afford to buy that car? I would say let's really stretch it. And I still think this is being irresponsible, but I'm going to go and stretch it with you. And let's say that monthly note of about $5,000 a month is 1/3 of your take-home pay. 1/3. So that means you need to be taking home after tax $15,000 a month. If you annualize that out and back in what you have to be paying in income tax, that's roughly $268,000 a year you need to be making to go buy that brand new $330,000 Huracan. Is that a wise decision? Well, let's walk through the math real quick. Let's say you put about 80 to 90% down on the car. You got about a $5,000 a month note. Okay, fine, no problem. let's talk about the interest. You're going to pay about $68,000 in interest over 5 years to pay off the loan on that car. That car, we all know, is going to depreciate. You're going to lose about $100,000 in depreciation on your lovely, beautiful Huracan. And then your insurance. Insurance is going to cost you about $5,000 per year. Over 5 years, you spent $25,000 in insurance on that car. So just interest, depreciation, and insurance costs over the 5 years of you buying that car, your total cost of ownership for that Huracan is $193,000. Let's talk about the way that you can do it smart. I'm gonna call it smarter. And then I'm gonna get into how I do it. We've got to eliminate the depreciation. Of all the numbers I've talked about, the largest expense is the loss in value on the car. So let's choose wisely, right? Don't go buy the brand new car. They're going to depreciate. Know that, it's a guaranteed fact. Cars that I would look at today, got to start with the Ferrari 458, Italia or Spider. Definitely the Spider I think is going to do even better than the Italia. Either way, they are at the bottom of the curve of their value. They've lost as much money as I think they're ever going to lose. They're already starting to uptick, where so you could have bought one 6 months or a year ago. You're probably already building equity in that car, but that's a great move. Grab a Huracan that's 3 or 4 years old. Go buy a 2020, 2021 Huracan. I got news for you. You're going to get just as many head turns and likes and whatever other attention that you think you may get from that car, because no one knows the difference between a 2020 Huracan and a 2025.
We are same, but different.
The vast majority, 99% of the people, can't tell the difference. Now, we've chosen the right car. Okay, great. We've eliminated our biggest expense. Now what do we need to do? Well, let's look at a couple of things. We got to look at your credit profile. Where do you need to be credit-wise to ensure you get the best interest rate possible? I cannot tell you how many times I talk to young people, and I always try to help them financially if I think they're going to listen. Not everybody wants to hear it. But I asked them, what interest rate did you get on that car? Most of them don't even know. All they know is what their monthly payment is. And dealerships sell you on that dollar amount because all you're thinking is, can I afford that dollar amount? You're not looking at the interest rate. I think you need your credit score to be at least 720 or above. 740 would absolutely guarantee you get the best possible interest rate. Please do not go buy a car and finance it at 10%. There's no scenario where that's wise. Having credit score gives you the ability to qualify for the best interest rate. I do recommend you utilize the dealership to get the financing. They've got relationships with all the banks. They're going to be able to get you approved pretty quickly. Unless you've got a relationship with your personal banker or a credit union, going through the dealership is going to be fine. But here's the key element you need to know. You need to ask them, when they quote that interest rate, you need to ask them what's their buy rate. The buy rate is the interest rate that they're actually getting from the bank or banks that they got you approved through. Most dealerships will mark that up 1 or 2 points, sometimes even more, depending on how savvy they think you are, and they get to make that extra interest percent. So let's just say you have a 740 credit score, you qualified for 6.5% interest. The dealership may offer it to you at 8.5, and they're gonna make that 2% spread on the loan. So be wise, show them that you're financially savvy, show them that you listen to Lewis at the Gentleman's Garage on how to buy a car and finance it, ask them what their buy rate is. And don't be bashful about it, ask them to show you. But immediately you're gonna guarantee you get the best interest rate, because we wanna mitigate the next big expense that you have, which is the interest over the 5 years that you're financing that car. Please don't finance a car 6, 7 years. There's absolutely never a good scenario where that's a good idea. 5 years, if you're going to finance a car, no more than that. If you're financing it more than that, you're trying to bring the payments down, and you're falling back into the category we just talked about of things not to do financially, especially buying an exotic car like this. So you've done everything right. We got a car that's not going to depreciate. We eliminated $100,000 of cost. We put down 20%, so we're eliminating about $10,000 of interest expense. We were smart, we got a good credit score, we did our due diligence, and we made sure we got the buy rate on the car. That is what I would consider to be the smarter way to finance that car. And here's some other ways you can be really creative, and this totally depends on your situation. But if you can build a business around what that car does, or if you can utilize that car to be a legitimate revenue producing piece of a company equipment, then you may or may not be able to write off some piece of it. In that situation, you may even look at, even after doing everything I've talked about, go ahead and lease the car, because depending on your business situation, you may be able to write off some or even all of the monthly lease payments. Again, I'm not here to give tax advice, but those are options that are available. You should definitely talk to your CPA to see if that's a possibility. If so, that drastically adds to the ROI of owning an exotic car. Our total cost of ownership on this car is still going to be $58,000 of interest. The insurance still going to be about the same, about $25,000 of insurance over 5 years. And let's face it, over 5 years, you're going to have at least $20,000 in maintenance and repairs, tires, whatever. Your total cost of ownership is still going to be at least $103,000 over the course of 5 years. That is probably the smarter way to buy these cars. Now let me tell you how I do it. In the beginning, I told you that I paid cash for my first supercar, and that was a mistake. And I understand what you're thinking at this point in the video. Lewis, wait a minute. You're telling me how financing these cars is not the way to go, although that's what the vast majority of these people do. And now you're saying paying cash is not the smart thing to do to buy my first car. How the heck am I supposed to pay for this car? I get it. This is what I should have done with my first supercar. Let's say that I went ahead and saved up and was going to pay cash for that $330,000 brand new Huracan, the car we've been using in the example the whole time. Now, coincidentally enough, if I saved up over 5 years, I need to save about $66,000 per year to be able to, in 5 years, then go pay cash for my beautiful brand new $330,000 Huracan. As I'm saving that money, I'm investing it. Now let's just say you're investing it very conservatively. Let's just say you're super conservative, you invest like a grandma. Okay, you still should get at least about 8% on average per year return on that money. If you save $66,000 a year, getting 8% return per year, in 5 years, you now have $418,000 in your bank account. So let's do the math. You saved your money, you let it build up in the bank account, you got $418,000. Now, let's say you didn't take any of this advice and you went and you bought that $330,000 car. We've done the math. By the time you factor out $100,000 of depreciation, $68,000 in interest, $25,000 in insurance, we hadn't even talked about maintenance costs of this number, your $330,000 investment is now worth a paltry $137,000. That's what your total investment is now worth. Whereas had you saved that money and let it grow, you'd have $418,000. That's a delta in 5 years of $281,000. Well over $250,000, and that's just on one car, one financial decision, one opportunity to be wise. Now, I want you to take that $418,000, and you can do one of two ways. You can do the way that you halfway listen to me or the way you fully listen to me. $418,000, you go to your banker and you tell them, I want to make a loan out to myself against the money that I have in my investment account. They will gladly loan you that money at probably 2% over the Fed rate at that time. So currently you probably could get that at around 6, maybe 6.25%, and those interest rates are going to go down. Now, your money is still in the market. It's still earning interest every day. You literally loaned yourself the money and you're paying it back to yourself, all the while your money stays in the bank and continues to earn more interest and continues to grow. Now, if you do it the smart way, take that money, loan it to you, but don't go buy a new car. Go buy one of the cars that's at the bottom of their value curve. They're not going to depreciate anymore. Go get that 458. Go get that 4 or 5 year old Huracan, whatever the case may be. It's not going to depreciate. Now your money's making money. You're loaning it to yourself. And guess what? You do not have to be a millionaire, some super rich person to do this whatsoever. You're saving $66,000 a year. That's still a lot of money. You're doing great, but you're not a millionaire. You're not some multimillionaire. Absolutely not. And this is the great example of what I try to tell people. You've got to educate yourself on finance, educate yourself on money. Think about it like this. People didn't get rich and then start thinking rich. People started thinking rich and then they got rich. So there it is. That's the do's and don'ts of how to buy supercars and the way in which I do it. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot. Please hit the like button. I'd love for you guys to subscribe, and please comment below. Did you already buy your first supercar? If you have, what was it? And if you haven't, which supercar are you saving for?